Here's why you need to move to San Antonio, Texas, and I'm giving you the ultimate guide to doing just that in this video right here. Everybody wants to move to Texas, it's no question about that, but where exactly in this massive state do you need to move to? I mean, that's a $1 million question, right? There's so many options out there. You don't want Dallas because it's too big and, well, too many tornadoes. Houston's out of the question because of its humidity and there's, hurricanes and that kind of stuff. Austin's out of the question because way too expensive and honestly it's just a little weird. So here's why San Antonio is the best place for you to move to in the entire state of Texas. Number one, San Antonio is a smaller metro compared to the others. It is only slightly bigger than Austin, and Dallas and Houston are way, way bigger than it. San Antonio is the only big city in Texas that doesn't really feel like a big city when you're inside the city itself. It makes it feel a lot more homey, makes it have that more small town feel. And of course the location is unmatched. It is in central Texas, very close to Austin, easy drive up I-35 to Dallas, easy drive up I-10 to Houston, and a really, really quick drive, just a couple hours away from the beach if you needed to go down the beach for the weekend. And of course, it is the most affordable big city in the entire state of Texas. This guide, we're hitting on that dreaded property tax in Texas, the homeowners insurance in San Antonio compared to other areas of Texas as well as the entire country, cost of living comparisons, and then we're also going to go through a quick little map view that's going to show you everything you need to know about where everything is at in San Antonio, and then also talk about some housing prices in each of those areas, where the entertainment's at, and then also maybe talk about, at the end, a little bonus, some predictions for 2023 when it comes to where is this ridiculous real estate market headed to. And don't be afraid to pause and take notes, guys. This is going to go really quickly. There's going to be a lot of information in a very short window of time, but if you have any other questions about any of this stuff, make sure you comment below with those questions, and I promise you I'll get you those answers. One of the most concerning topics in Texas is going to be the property taxes. It is no question at all that property taxes in Texas are pretty ridiculous compared to a lot of the other states. We rank 45 out of 50 when it comes to the highest property taxes in the United States. It's a big turnoff for a lot of people, especially given that those property taxes continue to go up every year because they reassess your value. It's not based off what you buy the house for. They reassess it every year. But we do have homestead exemptions. We have veterans exemptions as well. As far as land goes, you have ag exemptions and wildlife exemptions. So there's lots of different breaks that you can get on these property taxes. And what do these property taxes cover exactly? Well, they cover your schools. Public schools are funded from the property taxes themselves. It also covers your emergency services district. So we have great police departments here in Texas that enforce the laws, and then we have great emergency services as far as ambulances, fire, and everything like that. So all of those property taxes cover portions of that in each separate county. Obviously it's high. I mean, we're looking at 1.8% on average for the entire state of Texas, but it is actually a little bit higher in San Antonio. It's around 2.3-ish% in San Antonio. But let's look at the total tax burden as a whole, not just that property tax value. Looking at this graph right here, you can see that Texas is actually ranked 6th in the entire country for the lowest total tax burden. And that's because we don't have an income tax. We have a relatively low sales tax, and the property tax is higher. But overall, because values are a little bit lower, it makes that tax burden a lot less. So now let's compare San Antonio's property tax to the other big cities in Texas. Looking at San Antonio compared to Dallas, Houston, and Austin. San Antonio's property tax rate is 2.35%. Dallas is right at 2.22%, Houston is at 2.13%, and Austin is surprisingly the lowest at 1.95%. But again, this is based off the market price for the home, not what you purchased the home for. So this property tax value, let's compare it to the median prices in each of these areas. San Antonio has the lowest median price in the entire state as far as big cities go at $305,000. The next lowest is going to be Houston at $314,000, then Dallas at $335,000, and Austin at a whopping $533,000 median price point that is dropping a little bit right now, by the way. This makes San Antonio the second lowest property tax burden when you look at this compared to the median price point directly behind Houston. But that can change really quick. Let's look at the homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is a pretty hot button topic for a lot of people moving to Texas as well, because our average homeowners insurance rate is a lot higher than the rest of the country. A lot of that has to do with the weather around here. We're on the coast, so we have hurricanes, and Houston, of course, had Hurricane Harvey hit it a while back, so that made homeowners insurance go up quite a bit. The good news is that San Antonio is actually in a very good spot being in central Texas. We're not up north closer to Tornado Alley where all the tornadoes come through like up in Dallas. We aren't on the coast where we have to worry about the hurricanes. San Antonio and Austin are very close to each other, so the rates here are very similar in that. San Antonio is still the lowest at $2,317 per year on average. Austin comes in at $2,341. Dallas comes in at $3,390, and Houston comes in at $3,722. Looking at these averages, San Antonio then immediately has the lowest overall cost of living for your housing if you're buying a house in the entire state of Texas by quite a long ways. And then looking at cost of living, San Antonio is below 90% of what the average of the United States cost of living is, and compared to Houston, Dallas, and Austin, we are much lower than them as well. Houston is the only one that's relatively close. It's the only one that's even under the United States average. Dallas is slightly above, and Austin is 30% above. Next up, guys, we're going to get into this map view of San Antonio. I'm going to go through the entire city so I can show you exactly where everything is and what you need to know about the layout of the city itself. Now, before we get into that, I want to make sure you guys know my name is Michael McCall. I am a realtor here in the San Antonio area, and I have lived here, grew up here, lived here my entire life, and I absolutely love helping you guys with your moves here to San Antonio. So if you have any questions whatsoever about moving here, feel free to text me, call me, email me anytime, days, night, or weekends, whether you're moving here in 2 days or 2 years. And even better, actually, if you want to set up a meeting or set up a phone call or Zoom call with me, that link is in that description below and in that first comment below, along with my contact information. Now, straight into the map view here. So here's the view of San Antonio as you're looking on the map. So the first thing you need to know is that the San Antonio metro area encompasses San Antonio, Boerne, Bulverde, New Braunfels. So basically, this entire area here is the San Antonio metro area. Now, looking down into San Antonio itself, we have some major areas that you need to keep in mind about. So the highways themselves kind of circle San Antonio. Like most other places, you have the big loops that go all the way around, loop 1604. That's our big loop. And then you have the inner loop, loop 410. So this is any of your commuting areas. And then from downtown, you have 35, goes out this way to Austin. You have I-10, it goes out this way, and then you have 90, goes out this direction, and 10 actually comes through here, and then kind of jumps up this direction and kind of goes here, and then 90 continues down that way. And then 37, this takes you straight down into Corpus Christi, down this way. So these are all your major areas. So you got this way to go down to the beach, this way to go to Houston, this way to go to Dallas, this way, go up into the hill country and then out to El Paso, and then this way to go down towards Uvalde, the Rio Grande Valley area. Now looking at the areas of San Antonio themselves, we've talked about a lot of these before, so just kind of round areas here. So this side out here is going to be your far west area. North side is kind of everything north of 1604 all the way up to Stone Oak, Bulverde, Boerne. North Central's right here, Chavano Park, Castle Hills. Here's your northwest corridor right in this area, Leon Valley Medical Center. Downtown, it's basically right in here. Northeast is this section basically here, and then south side all right here. So that's kind of your areas of San Antonio as a whole. Now zooming out, we're looking at the suburbs. So Shirt, Cibolo, Universal City, Converse, Bulverde, New Braunfels, Canyon Lakes up here. Then you have Boerne, Helotes, Castroville, Lavernia, Seguin. Those are kind of the major suburbs that we've talked about quite a bit. Now again, each of these areas is going to be very different from each other. So higher prices are going to always come into play whenever you get more north of town. So Bulverde, Boerne, Helotes, this whole area right here is going to be the highest price area. One of the reasons is because you're out into the suburbs, it's out hill country, it's beautiful out there. There's just gorgeous homes out there. So prices just tend to be a little bit higher. More inside the loop is kind of your area where you're going to have a little bit more affordable homes, older homes. But then, getting downtown, a couple areas down there, you're going to have some smaller homes, and then the south side typically has a lot smaller homes as well. So the affordability goes a lot further there as well. That's where a lot of the much lower price homes down into the 200s and even down into the $100,000 homes are down in those southern areas and downtown areas. Looking at some of the major employers here. So one of the things that we're going to find is that the major employers are kind of scattered all throughout the city. So the medical center is here. This is where the major medical center is in San Antonio. It's right here in Leon Valley. Then you have Lackland Air Force Base, which is right in here. You have Fort Sam Houston right here. Randolph Air Force Base is right here. Camp Bullis up this direction, this entire area up here. You got some other major medical centers over the northeast side. Stone Oak has some. There's a couple others over here in this northeast section of town as well. And over here on the northwest side, we're going to have a lot as well. So UTSA, USAA, Valero, Security State Bank and Trust, a lot of big employers in this northwest corner right here, right by UTSA. And then of course, you have a lot of the big employers downtown as well. All the big high rises and everything that go up down there, all the big headquarters for like CPS and other different places down there. Now, as you can see by some of these highlighted areas for where a lot of the employers are at, it kind of drives where a lot of the growth is going, where a lot of the housing is actually being built. So this far west side over here is the majority of the new homes in San Antonio area. There is a ton out there. It is all new home communities for the most part. They are going up quick. They're going up in numbers. They're all over the place. Same thing is actually going in over here in Schertz and Selma, kind of all along this I-35 corridor, and then down here in the Converse area, actually there's quite a bit down here as well. And that's one thing I forgot to mention too. Down here right on I-10, in this little section of town here, and then over here closer to 410, this whole section right here, there's a lot of warehouses going up just because of distribution and ease right there. It's right on I-10, get to Houston, get down to the coast, get up on I-35. It is a great, wonderful spot for distribution, supply chain, warehouses and things like that. So that's a big spot for that. So now looking at where exactly you would go to do everything. So obviously, you know, we have downtown right here. This is where the Riverwalk is. Pearl District is just north of here, right there. Going up towards Alamo Heights. Pearl District is a wonderful place to go. Some outstanding restaurants, really big courtyard to go hang out. Lots of things always going on there for the Pearl's Farmers Market and other different events that they have down there in that courtyard. You also have northwest corner, the Rim, La Cantera, major shopping up there. That's where your Topgolf is, the Andretti Golf. There's an indoor skydiving up there. A couple other big arcade type places, Bass Pro Shops. The La Cantera Mall is of course in this major shopping area. And then you also have North Park Mall, which is right off of 410 in this area. And then you have Rolling Oaks Mall that's over here in Selma, along with the Forum and Live Oak, which is right next to it, across the street. Stone Oak has plenty of shopping as well, and then you have the Shops at River Center, which is downtown too, for other malls that you're looking at. If you like to get out, one of the big reasons a lot of people move to Texas is because of nature, because of the hill country. They love being outdoors. Then you are looking at a few different spots. So Lake Medina over here is currently low, but that is a big lake that's super popular. And then you have Government Canyon State Park, which is this entire area right here, basically. That's where the dinosaur tracks are located. You can go and hike in and see those. It's pretty cool. I've never done it personally. It's a pretty long trek in there. Then you also have a lot of parks scattered throughout San Antonio. Some of the major ones are like the Leon Creek Greenway, which basically runs from north all the way through northwest San Antonio, all the way down. I think it goes in this area, somewhere in there. Hardburger Park, right in Castle Hills. Then you also have McAllister Park, right up here by the airport, which the airport is right in this area. I forgot to mention that to you guys. And then we also have a couple other good spots up north. So looking up north here, Canyon Lake, obviously the biggest lake nearby San Antonio. Not a big waterfront property lake if you're looking at that. There are a few options up there, but not big for that. It is a very, very big public lake. So you can take your boat up there, take the jet skis up there, and just go to town. There's lots of public beaches, public parks that you can use. You also have Guadalupe River State Park, which the Guadalupe River runs basically right through here, through Spring Branch, kind of up north. And I think Guadalupe River State Park is right about in this area. So you can go get on the river in there. A lot of people hang out. Let the kids play in the water. Just good old-fashioned picnic area for you to go to. Another good spot to go to if you're looking for waterfront property is to go to the area between New Braunfels and Seguin. Basically the Guadalupe River all the way from New Braunfels down into Seguin. You have a couple different lakes that come into play there. You have Lake Dunlap in New Braunfels, which is right in this area. Then in the middle, you get down to Lake McQueenie, and then you get into Lake Placid, and then Lake Seguin, which is smaller, not as much, it's more of the river there, but Placid, McQueenie, and Dunlap are the major ones. They're working on getting the dams fixed so that those can be operational again, and that will in turn do a lot for those areas as well. And now finally getting into the predictions for 2023 as far as housing goes, San Antonio is predicted to fare a lot better than the rest of the country whenever it comes to this housing reset, normalization as I like to call it, that we're in. Interest rates have actually started to come down a little bit. They're predicting them to continue to go down even more throughout the year. They're currently right in the mid sixes. A lot of people are predicting they're going to get down to around 6%, maybe even down into the fives, with some outlets even saying that it's going to get into the mid fives by the end of this year, which would be outstanding for as big of a change as it was getting back over 7% back into last year at the end of the year. Looking at housing prices in San Antonio, San Antonio is a market that a lot of people are predicting is going to fare very well in this storm. We are predicted to have about 4 to 5% growth year over year, looking at this year compared to last year. So last year's prices being at the peak, we're still predicted to have a growth, not ever having a decrease in prices here in San Antonio. Definitely a decrease in sales. We're looking at like 30% decrease in sales as it sits right now in this month currently, at least from December. But overall, we're looking to fare extremely well. So if you're looking at buying, I don't see anything going down anytime soon. It looks like San Antonio is going to just get right back to normal and be a steady, heavy going market that we've always been in the years past. Now, if this video was all about San Antonio, guys, so if you have any questions at all about suburbs and would like to check out the top 9 suburbs in the entire San Antonio area, check out this video right here and you can find out all about that. See you in the next video.